It's time to beat the competition, grab the recruiter's attention, and land the interview bestie. In the last episode, I taught you how to actually find remote work that does not suck. But in this episode, I'm going to teach you how to actually be reviewed by the recruiter and land the interview. But first, good news. TRICARE now covers Talkspace online therapy. There's a lot going on in the world right now. And if you are feeling the weight of it all, career, kids, everybody's calendar, and in general, military spouse life, it's so easy to push your own needs to the bottom of the list. But that's why I want you to know that Talkspace is now accessible and covered by TRICARE. So you, your spouse, your kids over 13, you all have access to a licensed therapist. You can get matched in under 3 hours, and you can have your first visit in under 5 days. And that can be text chat based, that can be over the phone, and that can be video as well. So if you are ready to get started, head over to Talkspace/military. Link is going to be in the show notes, and I hope that you take advantage of this and start putting yourself first. I'm Kimber Hill, active duty spouse, and I share on my Military Spouse Lifestyle show how to navigate remote work, real estate investing, and in general, how to maximize military benefits that we all have access to. Hit subscribe and come be my MilSpouse bestie. In this episode, this is a follow-on from our previous episode of how to find remote work that doesn't suck. In this episode, you have to learn how to grab the recruiter's attention and land the interview, because you are not the only person looking for remote work. A lot of people are interested in this category of work, which makes it highly competitive. So, number one, speed is everything. Only the first 1 to 5% of applicants are getting reviewed for an interview. That means you have to be speedy without compromising the integrity of your application, which means basically being sloppy. Speed, but not sloppy. This entire episode is going to give you skills and techniques to apply rapid approach to your application process without being sloppy. So listen carefully. I'm going to bounce around a little bit. So first, tips to move fast. You've got to turn on your notifications for every job board that you use and actually review them. Don't send them to promotions or spam. Turn them on, especially if you're joining private talent communities, like VertForce is the talent community that you can join that's military spouse connected. But also, let's say you want to work for our partner at Intuit and you join the Intuit talent community. Make sure that your notifications are on for us and for them. We need those emails to get to you so that you can be in the first 1 to 5% of applicants. Whitelist job alert emails. So basically, you can go into your email account and set up a rule that says, if the subject line or if the email address comes from this person, this company, alert me. Use those rules to your advantage or put them in a special folder. And then check that folder every day. Whatever you do, don't forget about it. I like to flag the word remote. I like to flag the word job opening. All of these things are very important for you. Number 3, follow those target companies that you want to work for on LinkedIn and people who are typically sharing jobs. I am one of them. Jay Salters would be another great person to follow. I tag people on my LinkedIn all the time that I personally follow. You can look at who I'm following. Follow me on LinkedIn, but importantly, the people who are sharing jobs consistently, there is a LinkedIn notification bell next to their profile. So instead of just following, you want to follow and turn on the notification. I had a week in June where I think I shared 10 positions. So be cognizant that it pays to leverage that network, and it pays to do a little bit of social sleuthing and figure out who's sharing jobs consistently and follow them. You can't be late to apply. And if you are, you're probably out. I say that. I don't want to discourage you from applying to jobs that have been up for a while, because there are some circumstances where some positions can be hard to find placements for. And so those may hang around a little bit longer, but ideally you want to be applying to a position the day that it posts or within a couple of days that it posts. That does not mean if it's absolutely perfect for you, don't apply if you missed that window. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is you are going to be at a better advantage if you get in days 1 through 3 than if you come in a week later, 2 weeks later. But it doesn't mean that you can't get screened if you're on the back end. It just means you need to be prepared to work a little bit harder to get the job interview. So what I mean by that is, let's say it's been up for a week, but for whatever reason, you just saw it. This is easier with smaller companies. You can still apply and email the hiring manager and say, hey, I have applied for this. I wish I would have seen it last week. Are you still screening candidates? Just to make sure that they know this is urgent to you and you want them to urgently review you and make sure you get considered. So that is a speed tip. It's so much harder if you're applying with an organization like CVS Health or you're applying with a really big company, because you're up against thousands and thousands of people. But it's still worth your time, because there is the possibility that they didn't find anyone in week 1, and you got to take that chance on yourself. But try to give yourself the best advantage of getting in the front of the line. Get referred, bestie. First of all, every employer that works with VertForce and on my job board, VertForce, if you apply using the link that they posted on the job board, you will be automatically flagged as a VertForce candidate. But it's also very important, if there are any drop downs of where you were referred, select VertForce. That tells them these are our military connected candidates. And our CEO has a commitment to hiring this many military spouses this year. We're going to review them first, okay? Second, if they're not a VertForce partner, you need a referral, reach out to your LinkedIn network, reach out to your friend network and say, okay, I'm applying at, give me a company. I'm applying at 7-Eleven Corporate for this remote product analyst position. They're not a VertForce partner. Who do I know that works for 7-Eleven Corporate? Go to LinkedIn, make a post. Do I have anyone in my network who works for at 7-Eleven? Go to the 7-Eleven company page. Look for people in the 7-Eleven company that might have a first or second degree connection with you. Send them a message and ask if they would help sponsor you for that role. What does that mean? If they already work there, they can send an email to HR to indicate that they know you and you are applying. A lot of times they can get cash bonuses for referring people who get hired. So they like that. That's a few $100 extra in their paycheck. Of course, they're going to help you if you ask for help. So don't be afraid to ask for that connection. Candidly, when I was aiming back, before I was a military spouse and I was just starting my career and figuring out how to network, how to leverage LinkedIn, and I was like, I want to work for stars. I'm going to go there. That's how I got my interview there. My LinkedIn network, I had somebody who was connected to HR who was willing to put in a good word for me, which hundreds and hundreds of people applied for that position. And I got an interview just because I asked, just because I went outside of that little loop and said, I really want to be considered for this. All right. Next, reference your referrals in your application. So a lot of the applications will have you do online forms. Make sure you talk about your referral sources. There can be more than one, especially if, let's say you're in VertForce. I'm in the VertForce community and I applied and my friend Jane works in accounting there. List all of them. They want to know all of the ways that you're connected, all of the ways that you've heard about them. Reference them in the application, because after they leave their VertForce military spouse pool, if they're using that, and they move over to other ways that they're going to sort candidates, they usually look at referrals almost every single time. So refer. Okay. And then companies will give more attention to applicants who come in through trusted sources. So that's why I'm telling you to do this. And I encourage you to be that source. If you are a spouse and you are already employed, or you get through this process and you get a job at a company, what I want you to do is reach out to me and help me position you as that source within our organization and within our community. So remember to pay it forward in this specific capacity, this referral capacity, once you get in, all right? So quick reminder for everybody listening that TRICARE is now covering Talkspace online therapy. If you are juggling it all and finding it tough to take time to care for yourself, Talkspace online therapy is available to you, and you can get matched with a therapist who understands military life and start sessions virtually. Head over to Talkspace.com/military. Number 3, be interview ready before you apply. So this is all about your online presence and all about your presentation package. So this really has to come before speed. This is what makes speed possible. But I can't tell you about this without you understanding before you approach presentation, you have to put in the presentation work first so that you can accomplish speed. All right? This is absolutely attainable. And I think this is where so many of us get hung up. It's going to take me too long to do that. I don't have the bandwidth to sit down and focus on myself. Listen, you need about half a day to get each of these things done. And investing that time in yourself will make speed and rapid applications way more achievable for you. So, a polished presence makes it easier to apply faster. It makes it easier for you to stand out. And hey, I'm telling you, 80% of your competition is not doing any of this. But the 20% that are the ones getting the interviews. All right, so let's help you master this. We talked about this in episode 1, but LinkedIn, get yourself to 500 connections as quickly as possible. Make sure you have an amazing cover photo, amazing headshot, and a really clear headline. I'm just gonna go ahead and drop my LinkedIn episode one more time. It's a good listen, and it's gonna be very helpful to get your LinkedIn traction rolling. Then I want you making thoughtful posts and interactions on your LinkedIn profile. We talked about this in episode 1 too. All right. We talked about this and how to find remote work that doesn't suck. You're already doing it. You should already be practicing it. Using the keyword search for your industry that you want to work in. Using your connections to provide thoughtful and collaborative commentary on posts. Start showing up so that you're not, anonymous online. Give yourself an online presence and personality for the employer to look at when you apply for the position, because what's going on is they get this resume and they're like, okay, this person, Alicia Smith, wants to apply for this role. Well, she looks pretty good on paper. Let me go see if she's on LinkedIn. Oh yeah, she's really representing for herself on LinkedIn. Wow, I got to interview her. I got to figure out what she's all about. Okay, that's where the connection is going versus Alicia Smith. I don't see an Alicia Smith on LinkedIn. There looks to be maybe a lot of them, but I don't see anyone who really stands out. Maybe, right? Are you getting it? If you are getting it, put "get it" in the comments. I'm getting it, and here's my LinkedIn. You can drop the link to your LinkedIn in the comments. I will go follow you. Okay, cover letters. Don't hate me, but I am telling you, the people who are getting interviews are writing killer cover letters. It's not hard. It is not hard at all. So, but you do have to tailor it to every job. But what does the cover letter do for you as a military spouse? things that we are challenged with, career gaps. It might not be immediately obvious to the employer how you would be a good fit for this position because your last position was in left field, completely different from what you're applying for now. Great example. I was a teacher and now I want to be a marketing project manager. So a hiring manager may not obviously see connections between those two positions. They're like, why is this teacher applying for this marketing role? Go back to teaching. Unless you do yourself your best service and write the cover letter. The cover letter is your opportunity to succinctly, don't give me 3 pages of a cover letter. We want 2 paragraphs max. Succinctly address gaps and career pivots. Very important for moms, very important for male spouses, so important for anyone who's taken time out of the workforce. Tell me what you did in that gap. Tell me why you're career pivoting. Tell me and pitch to me. It's pitching. That's what it is. Pitch to me why your last position as a teacher makes you absolutely perfect for this marketing project management position. You got it? Mention the company and the position title accurately. I will tell you, you are messing up if you're just saying, dear hiring manager, here's a little bit about me. Generic. Anything that looks to a hiring manager like you could have sent it to 10 other hiring managers for 10 other positions that day is a waste of your time and a failure of the cover letter. I love you, bestie. Like, I'm just telling you how it is. It's going to be wasting your time. It needs to be, if you don't have the hiring manager's name, it needs to be addressed to dear hiring manager, or to whom it may concern at such and such company for this position. I'm applying for this position because here is the value that I'm going to bring to the role. This is also not a time to be soft. Like, I feel like I might be a good fit for this because I love your company's mission and I've just always thought that I could be a marketing project manager. No, girl. No. You've got to bring it in the cover letter, okay? I'm applying to the marketing project manager role because in my last position, I was able to design 49 different marketing assets for every teacher on my floor, which pushed me into becoming, HubSpot certified, marketing certified. Now that I've done that, I work with 10 private clients and I'm ready to launch my career in marketing with an organization that I can grow with long-term, okay? That is how you go from teacher to marketing project coordinator and pitch yourself in the cover letter. Bring the data, all right? Whew, I'm getting excited about it. Okay, I encourage you, a lot of our candidates say, oh my gosh, I do not know where to start with a cover letter. And a really great tool for this is just to go to AI and ask AI to write you a cover letter that accomplishes these things, pitches you for this specific position with this specific company based on skills that you developed, and you'll need to describe, what those skills are or past experiences are. Do not just use what AI spits out. Please proofread it. Please make sure it's in your voice. All of the EM-dashes are really big giveaways that it was written by AI, so repunctuate it. Make sure that it really feels authentic and feels like a human wrote it and feels like you. You want to be able to stand beside your work even if it was something that AI helped you create. All right, resume tips to standing out and being able to apply fast and with speed. So this is in my resume bootcamp course, but I think it's actively something we have to talk about all the time. In episode 1, which was how to find remote work that doesn't suck, we talked about you listing out those 3 things you think you could do and some of the companies that you think you could do them for. What I'm about to say correlates to that directly. I need you to be able to stand up what I call resume bones. You could also call it a resume template. but resume bones for each of those 3 things that you think you could be doing. Let's say that your areas were kind of like, oh, I think I can do executive assisting. I'm also really good at Facebook ads. And maybe I'm also good at writing. So I'm going to stand up a content writer resume. I'm going to stand up a ad placement resume for like a media buyer type position. And I also think I'd be a great executive assistant, but probably niching into the marketing space. So I'm going to stand up a marketing executive assistant resume. So maybe I can go in and support some high-powered CMO. You're going to build your resume and craft and mold all of your experience to kind of support those 3 pipelines. And then when you are looking for remote work and positions to apply to, you're going to be looking for those 3 pipelines. So whenever you find something that could be a CMO EA, that's the resume that you have. It's already boned out, like the structure is already there. You just need to go in and tailor a little bit of it so that it can apply to that position, add the tailored cover letter, and send. That whole process, maybe 30 minutes to 1 hour to apply to that position. What are you saying no to when you work this way? When you turn your job search into, I'm going to spend more time tailoring myself for this position, and I'm going to spend more time applying to this position than I am just taking my generic resume and my generic cover letter and applying to as many positions as I can. You are saying no to throwing spaghetti at a wall. You are saying no to lay and spray. Let me just blast the entire career market with my resume and see if anything sticks. You're saying no to that. You are saying yes to intentionality. And it is worth my time to invest a full hour into applying to this position. You know why? Because I know I'm in the first 1 to 5% of applicants, because I set up career alerts and I started looking for this kind of stuff last week. And number 2, because I know I'm in the first 1 to 5% of applicants, and I know I started from the beginning with the kind of work that I wanted, I know this job is right for me, it's worth it for me to take my time. That's what you're saying yes to. Now, getting a little bit deeper into these resume bones. We've talked about the tailored cover letter. We've talked about having the resume bone structure set up. And now I'm going to talk to you again about tailoring. I love resume tailoring. I talk about it all the time. I could talk to you about tailoring your resume in 10 minutes and probably explain it to you from start to finish. And you would be like, wow, that was way easier than I ever thought it was going to be. Right now, I'm going to give you my best, most juicy resume tailoring tip. And it's incredibly applicable. But, ultimately your full application package should be the tailored cover letter, the tailored resume, submitted in the first 1 to 3 days of the application being posted, and then leveraging your LinkedIn network to ensure that you have a referral source as well. All of these things are going to get you way closer to the interview. Invitation to interview. Wow, I got there. Resume tailoring. This is how you do it. It couldn't be any easier. Pull up the job requisition. The job requisition is going to have bullets of responsibilities, requirements, preferred experience. Look at your bullets on your resume bones. You want to try to make them match as much as you can. This sounds weird, but it works. So if bullet on the job requisition says proficient in Adobe InDesign, bullet 1 on your resume says created marketing graphics for 42 clients. How do we make those come together? Obviously, we're not lying. Don't lie, don't make stuff up. But you have to look at the bullets on the resume, look at the bullets on the job requisition, look at the bullets and see where can you combine things. You want your resume bullets to be transformed into the job requisition bullets. So remember that said proficient in Adobe InDesign. So over here, we would say proficient in Adobe InDesign, recently completed 42 marketing graphics for 42 clients. Does that make sense? As much as you can. So you've got your bones. You've got the bones set up. You already kind of know what bullets you want to be working with. You look at the job requisition and see how many of the job requisition bullets you can pull over. Usually written in the order of importance. Okay. And then the preferred qualifications, sometimes those are super flexible. Sometimes that's really what they want and they just don't know it yet. So definitely try to hit as many as you can. Also, look at that job description and see what keywords are standing out. And when I say keywords, you might find that like Adobe is on there 10 times. If Adobe is on there 10 times, it needs to be on your resume as many times as you can get it on there. And maybe that's not, we're talking about the scenario of a marketing role, but this applies across the board with anything. Count the number of times you see a word populating. Maybe you see quality assurance, quality assurance, quality assurance, quality assurance. That should tell you, get quality assurance on your resume as many times as you can and match as many of those bullets. That's how you tailor. The cover letter, a little different. It's got to be a bit more personalized, a bit more of a pitch. The resume, it's just a merging of their bullets into yours. All right, before we close out today, don't forget Talkspace is covered by TRICARE. So whether it's for you, your spouse, or your teenager, you can access licensed therapists who truly get military lifestyle. Visit Talkspace.com/military to learn more and start your journey to feeling better today. Let's recap this episode. I covered with you how to actually land the interview. And our number one goal here, fast but not sloppy, all right? Fast but prepared. So one of the things that we're covering is use the tech and the tools that are at your fingertips to be alerted first. You need to aim to be in the first 1 to 5% of applicants. It's okay if you're not. If you're not, don't give up. If you're not, do the back channel. Message the hiring manager. Ask if the position is still active. They may not have found someone, all right? Next is look for the referral angle and be sure that you use it in as many ways as you can. So you can use VertForce, you can use a friend who works there, get as many referrals as you can, leverage your LinkedIn network, make the ask. You can make the ask to strangers. You don't have to actually have met that person in real life for them to vouch for you to get into the company or to get into the interview, right? It's not their responsibility to hire you. So it's no skin off their back or no skin off their nose, sorry. If you don't get hired, that's the hiring manager's job, is to decide whether or not you're the right fit. But they can stick their neck out and help you get an interview. You don't have to know them. Being connected on LinkedIn is fine. Next was your presentation. Being prepared and putting in the time to get that presentation right makes speed so much easier. So prep your LinkedIn, prep your cover letter bones, and prep your resume bones now. And last but not least, tailor everything. All right, my action for you today is take 30 minutes to clean up your LinkedIn and create your first resume set of bones. If you want help, check out my full LinkedIn makeover episode. I also have lots of other content on resume tailoring. There should be a playlist that I can link for you if you need to dive in deeper into that. Thank you for watching my Military Spouse Lifestyle Show. I am Kimber Hill. If you found this helpful and you're going to use it, I invite you to subscribe to the channel and be my MilSpouse bestie. Also, share this with your MilSpouse bestie. Help us get the word out. I do personally respond to all of the comments, so you can leave your LinkedIn in the comments. You can tell me about yourself in the comments. You can talk about what you're going through, and I'll give you the best advice that I can.